Welcome back to another Air Celestials video here. Today we're going to talk about the inventory button and maximizing your inventory. So we'll go ahead and jump right into it here. When you pull up your inventory, you're going to see kind of what you see in the character screen on the left hand side. But this is where you can manipulate it, right? You can take your inventory off, forge it, unequip it, show it, whatever you want to do. And by the way, the show button literally puts it in the chat to show off to all your friends that you have a cool piece of equipment, if that's what you're really into. But as far as the inventory is concerned, the main things I like to keep in my inventory are going to be my experience potions, and then pretty much that's about it. I'll keep my guild flags in there, treasure maps, but to be honest, I use those quite frequently. Most other things I keep in my storage here for you, most certainly my metals, as I told you in the last video. Keep your inventory clean every morning. Come in, sell all your basic green stuff that's just taking up space. And the other thing that I really want to talk about here is every month or 2 months, you'll come across a contest that is called a resource contest. And you may have seen one. You may have kind of been like, wow, how do people ever accumulate, that many resources to gather the points to get the mythical stones or whatever is the top prize? And to be honest, one of the best pieces of advice that I've ever gotten early in this game was to go ahead and save half of the resources you acquire. I kind of go overboard with it. Sorry, I just wanted to get rid of all that extra equipment I had in here for you. Because quite frankly, in my storage, as you can see, I use all the blue artifacts and save everything else just because they only stack to 99, and I have so many rows of basic artifacts that it's not really worth it. And I haven't seen artifacts be used for points in an actual resource event before anyways. So I'm just kind of being safe here by keeping these in general and not using them. But when that time comes, if I need it, go ahead and do so. Other than that, my storage is my best friend. So as you can see, I do keep all the other set stones that I get from the Dark Ruins in here in case I want to sell them or a friend needs them. And I also keep all my pieces for different costumes or weapons or anything else, extra wings in here that I need later for crafting. Things like that. But I personally love having enough storage to not ever have to worry about it. I'm not saying go out and spend all your rubies on keys and waste everything you have, but a little piece of advice is every couple weeks, every 3 weeks, they'll have a buy one get one event essentially for rubies. And if you go all the way to the right, there'll be, I think it's 20 keys for 200 rubies. So you end up getting 40 or 80 keys because you can buy two per day. And that event usually lasts 2 or 3 days. And you can get the space you need unlocked for a fraction of the price. The same thing with your inventory. I do have some slots still available, but I'm not going to waste my rubies on them until there's a discounted key sale. It just gets to the point where it's not really cost effective. Like if I went to go down and click on this, I would, well, that one's not bad because of my new VIP level. So that was a bad example. Let's see if this one's really expensive. So I need 8 keys. So for one space, I can spend 80 rubies, which to me is not really worth it. I can rather use those for an extra Dark Ruins run, whatever it may be. But I digress. So moving on to the equipment, you can separate it by just the spare equipment you have in your consumables, I mean your potions and everything else. So not a whole lot of tricky stuff here. But what most people miss too is the shop. You can get through this individually, like you can go to the arena in the shop or the guild in the shop, but you're in your inventory the most, so pay attention to this tab. These will automatically pop up as you run out, but your potions should always be filled. Right here's one that most people miss. If in the arena shop, I highly recommend saving up for these fragments for your legions. So regardless of if you're the first, have the first legion, which is, I can't remember, Stellaris, Immortalis, start buying these as you need them for your legions. It will certainly help boost your BR, and you want to keep your legions well rounded. I mean, you don't want one legion at level 2 and one at 16, and I know that's impossible because you need to level them up before you can unlock the next one. I'm just saying keep them in line because it uses less resources and their BR boost stack, so it's not like you have to use that legion to get the overall bonus for your character. Guild shop, same thing here. If you have maxed out your guild lab points, meaning either your guild's not high enough to continue or your character level's maxed out, pick up some extra essences and some sprite leaves. I know they're basic and I know it's kind of overpriced here, but if you're not going to spend them on anything else, they'll stack up over time and help you build your resources. Treasure hunt shop, I totally disregard this one. As you can see, there are some rare items in here to begin with. Unfortunately, you need to buy gold keys to get points to unlock this, and gold keys are about $10 a piece. So one of the biggest wastes of time, in my opinion, in the game, but to each their own. And the assist shop, depending on how much time you have, this is always a nice place as well. And assist points you get if you've completed all of your group events, and then you still can join groups to help them complete theirs, and you get 5 points per one you complete, whether it's it doesn't really matter. You can do any of them, and of course I'm drawing a blank here for you, but you can do the Abysmal Dungeon, Endless Tower, just so you know this is what I'm talking about here. You can help other people complete these and get those extra points there for you, so you can get a little bit of extra for helping out. Overall, key points for the inventory: store in your inventory. For me, I like to keep it clean, only what you need and use on a daily basis. Save your resources, okay? The best you can. I understand it's very desirable to level up as fast as possible, but if you don't want to spend a bunch of money and you play over time, you will find that you'll gather these mythic stones for practically free just by being patient. So that's my advice to you, is keep your inventory at least half of the resources you have. In Dark Ruins, don't liquidate the other character set stones. Either save them if you can and have space for them, or put them in trade. They don't sell often depending on your server, but they do sell, especially when somebody gets a new piece of equipment and doesn't want to wait to spend the time to grind out getting the more pieces they can to set them. So with that being said, that's about all there is to cover inventory. Keep in mind your spaces will be up here left over if you can't figure it out. And the only thing is you can sort the inventory here, which will put all the items together. And if you go ahead and have, let's just say, we'll go back, and if I want to dismantle, say I want to dismantle 173 of these, all that does is break them off into a separate piece here, and if I hit sort inventory again, it puts them all back together. Not really useful, but just in case you're worried to hit that button, because dismantle is a scary word, I just wanted to show you what that does for you. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.